Like, don't judge a book by its cover. I'm judging this book and I'm giving it 5 stars before I even read it. Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Isabella and I love sharing all things fandom and fashion. I started a book club a few months ago with my girlfriends and it has honestly been the highlight of my week. It's so nice to just get together and yap and snack and just catch up with each other, and it's honestly very therapeutic. So I have really enjoyed it. Yesterday, we decided to have a little date at Barnes & Noble. We got some coffee and then we just ran around the store and picked up a few things. So I thought it would be fun if I shared them with you. This is quite a large bag. The first book I picked up is The Ornithologist Field Guide to Love. That's kind of a tongue twister. This is from India Holton, and I have heard so many good things about this book. Like, it's a 5-star read, so I cannot wait to dive into this one. Rival ornithologists hunt through England for a rare mythical bird in this historical fantasy rom-com, reminiscent of Indiana Jones, but with manners, tea, and helicopter parasols. Say less. Anything that has an Indiana Jones type feel to it, I immediately love. And it's all about birds, and you guys know I'm a bird mom. This just feels totally up my alley, and I love that it is a historical fantasy rom-com. I've never really read anything like that, so I think this one's gonna be really fun. And look how pretty the cover is. The next book I picked up is a compilation of Mary Shelley's horror stories, and of course that includes Frankenstein. It should be no surprise to you guys that I absolutely love the new movie. I just love misunderstood monsters. You guys know. And Mary Shelley is considered the mother of sci-fi, so I was like, girl, I love fantasy, I love sci-fi, I love monsters, I have to go to the original text. So this is an anthology of classic tales by her, including Frankenstein, the Vampire, the Invisible Girl, the Mourner, and the Last Man. So of course I'm stoked to read Frankenstein, but I'm also looking forward to getting into her other gothic horror stories. And this gilded cover is just insane. It's a $30 book and I got it for $12. Actually, I think it was like $10 because I have a Barnes & Noble membership. So yeah, you can't beat this for 10 bucks. The next thing I picked up is not a book, but they do carry a lot of board games at Barnes & Noble. And this is actually a Star Wars Unlimited starter kit. So this comes with 2 decks, a board game, info sheet, rule book, damage counters, action counters, and initiative counters. So it's pretty much everything you need for 2 people to play and learn how to play together. And you guys know how obsessed we are with this game. And we're actually going to be carrying Star Wars Unlimited at our new storefront. So we thought this would be the perfect way to teach people how to play if they want to get into it. I know I haven't shared too much about our storefront with you guys just yet, but I have been documenting everything, so stay tuned for a vlog and like way more content coming your guys' way, especially on Instagram. That's kind of where I've been most active, but it has been an insane past 3 weeks trying to get the shop ready in time for our grand opening, which is November 15th, and I believe if you're watching this the day this comes out, it's tomorrow in San Diego. So yeah, definitely check out my Instagram for all the details. I don't want to yap about it too much, just because that's gonna be like a whole other series, but yeah. Really excited to be introducing more people to this game. This is a traditional TCG. It's very similar to Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, and I'd say it's somewhere in between those two on difficulty level. The next book I picked up is From a Certain Point of View, and I have wanted to own this book for so long, and I just honestly don't know how I have not gotten around it until now. But this is really cool. So this is another anthology, so you can kind of jump around. This book is a collection of short stories that spans the entire canon timeline, and it dives deep into certain characters or certain moments that don't really get too much expansion in the movies. So I think this is really cool. You guys know I love context and I love a backstory. I usually like backstories more than like the actual really important canon event, you know? So I cannot wait to get in here with my pen and my highlighters, just like deep dive into this niche stuff because I just can't get enough Star Wars. And I'm pretty sure there's some crazy Kenobi lore in here that I've seen mentioned a lot on TikTok. So I'm like, okay, I need to sit down and read these full passages, because if the watered down version that we hear about on TikTok is that good, this has to be fire. So very excited for this one. Look at all the artists that contributed to this. This is just such a cool concept and project. I'm looking forward to see which story out of all of these is my favorite. The next book I picked up is This Is Not a T-Shirt by Bobby Hundreds, and he is a very successful, very well-known streetwear artist and fashion designer, as well as like an entrepreneur and a businessman. I've heard a lot of good things about this book, and now that I'm opening a storefront and I'm bringing back my boutique and I'm doing a lot more stuff with fashion, I was like, I should probably brush up on some fashion business knowledge. It also feels very relevant to be reading his story now because he was recently named the head of Disney Parks Merchandise, which is definitely one of the largest merchandising companies in the world, and just like the scope of what that means is crazy. And I believe he's in his early 30s, which is just mind-boggling to be that successful, to have lived that much life, and to just have really made a name for yourself at such a young age. I think is really inspiring. So I think this is going to be a really good read. I was kind of like flipping through it and I was already like, so I think I'm going to read this next. This is super random, but I picked this up at my local book off and it was only $1. And this is a scholastic version of the Revenge of the Sith novelization. This is by Patricia Reed, and this is less than 200 pages. So you guys know me. I just read the Matthew Stover Revenge of the Sith novelization. This insane 20th anniversary edition just came out, and I will get to that in a second. But when I saw this for $1, I was like, I just love that Star Wars has things on both ends of the spectrum, you know? I love that it doesn't matter what age you are, what budget you have, what reading level you're even at. You can enjoy Star Wars in so many different ways. I just thought it was kind of silly to have like the super duper special edition version and the $1 scholastic version, but they're equally cool and I want to read them both and compare them because obviously this is going to be simplified. But to be honest, there are some very deep and heavy adult topics in this story. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the author conveys all of that, and I think it's gonna make a really interesting read. Okay, I just showed you guys this book. This is the 20th anniversary deluxe edition of the Revenge of the Sith novelization. I think this was my favorite book that I read this year, and I read like 15 plus books already. But this one is just like, this edition is next level. I believe it has like 170 plus annotations from the author going through how he decided on certain scenes, his feedback from George Lucas, his inspirations, and additional context, which I was saying earlier, your girl loves context. So I'm going to devour this. I'm sorry if my fingerprints are all over this. It's really hard to keep this book clean, but it has 2 covers. So it has this acetate one, and then it has this insane Mustafar art, which is so cool. Concept art of Amidala, where Anakin still has his little ponytail. This foil binding of one of the most iconic quotes from the book. And we've got Vader being put into his suit. And it also came with a signed nameplate, which was very nice of them. This might be one of my favorite things that I added to my collection this year. The last book I have is Master of Evil by Adam Christopher. Anakin/Vader is my favorite character, and this book takes place right after Revenge of the Sith. This is exactly the kind of Star Wars book that I want to read. After Revenge of the Sith, a newly forged Darth Vader hunts for the secrets of life and death under the watchful eye of Emperor Palpatine. So this is pretty much the rise of Darth Vader. No one knows who he is, where he came from, but they know to be scared of him. Vader remains haunted by the promises of the dark side, seeking the ultimate power that his master has hinted at but withheld, the power to conquer death itself. So Vader pretty much goes off on his own without Palpatine's permission and tries to get answers for himself because Palpatine obviously is no help. And Vader ends up just kind of becoming obsessed with this hunt, and he's like chasing phantoms across the galaxy, and I'm just like, okay. You had me at literally the cover. Like, don't judge a book by its cover. I'm judging this book and I'm giving it 5 stars before I even read it. Okay, I won't say that, but I have very high hopes for this book and I'm very excited to read it. Thank you so much, Random House Worlds, for gifting me these books. They are absolutely beautiful and I cannot wait to read Master of Evil. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys had fun seeing all of my latest book pickups. I have a lot more book content planned for you guys, so stay tuned for that. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys are currently reading and if you recommend it to me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!